Cardio is great for heart health and longevity, but for fat loss, it's nowhere near as effective as most people actually think. Here's actually why. When you burn 300 calories on the treadmill, your body fights back hard. This is the best way to use cardio to lose fat based off of science. How much cardio should you do to actually lose fat? Some say none, others say daily. And after working with UFC champions, getting a doctor physiotherapist, working with over 1,251 executive clients, elite athletes over the last 17 years, here's what actually works. And it might actually shock you. I'm Dr. Dexiu, former official UFC physical therapist, and I've worked with over 1,251 high-performing men, transforming their bodies and their performance. And today, I'm revealing exactly how to use cardio properly for fat loss using science, because almost everyone gets it wrong. So the number one problem is that almost no one understands cardio and how effective it is for fat loss. There's a research from 2016, it's from Herman Potzer, and revealed something crazy interesting that obviously fitness magazines won't actually want you to know. There's something called the constrained energy model. The more calories you burn through cardio, the more your body actually deliberately sabotages your efforts. It does this a few ways. Number one, it makes you actually move less throughout the days. This is your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. That means you're taking fewer steps and you're fidgeting less and even gesturing less when you're actually talking like this. Number two is it increases your hunger levels. So you actually eat more, especially cravings and higher calorie dense food. Number three is lowering your baseline metabolism, aka known as metabolic adaptation, reducing your calories that you burn at rest. You want to actually have this very high because this is how you become a fat burning machine. This isn't actually theory. There's lots of studies that show that people who start cardio without changing their diet only lose 20 to 50% of what they should actually based off the calories burned. And aka this just means that that hour of cardio that you're doing, half of it is being canceled out by your body's natural survival mechanism. Because we used to live in caves, we would eat a bunch of food, then we get stored as fat, so that if there is a window in which we cannot eat, then we then start to utilize that energy in our fat as a survival mechanism. Is the type of cardio doesn't actually matter as much as you think. But what about HIIT? What about sprints? What about all these like shredded athletes? Like, shouldn't they all do this? Okay, well, here's what the actual studies show. This is literally what the research tells you. When scientists directly compares higher intensity interval training to just moderate cardio, they found no meaningful difference in fat loss. None. Absolutely zero. What's actually more shocking is neither produce significant fat loss on their own. We're talking about 0.5 pounds over 8 weeks. There's really no difference. And those massive cardio sessions, studies show that you need about 700 calories worth daily. That's around 60 to 90 minutes of jogging every single day in order to get meaningful fat loss without changing your diet. So let's be real, like, who has time for that? So what does this actually mean for cardio? Is cardio actually useless? Absolutely not. It just means that you need to use it correctly. There's a recent meta-analysis ranked fat loss methods from its most to least effective. Cardio alone, this is literally the last thing. The most effective approaches all combine proper diet with exercise. And here's the reality. It's much easier to eat 500 fewer calories than to burn 500 calories worth of exercise. Think about it. Eating 500 fewer calories just might mean, hey, just don't eat a dream chicken or a Big Mac or something like that with your coffee or whatever it is. Burning 500 calories means you have to spend 45 minutes of hard cardio, which makes more sense. Definitely not the first one, right? Obviously, definitely that first one's gonna be a lot harder, it seems like, for a lot of people. Anyways, cardio isn't your primary fat loss tool, guys. It's really an accelerator that you add after your diet is nutrition is completely dialed in. In fact, for us, it's probably one of the last things that we actually do for our clients. Like, this is the last thing we want to implement. So when we actually ask people who get completely shredded for a living, like natural bodybuilders, here's kind of like what a lot of our friends kind of say. Most elite natural bodybuilders admit that they could complete an entire contest prep without actually doing any sort of cardio. They just need to lower their caloric intake. But here's what they emphasize all the time. Baseline daily activity. This is super important. What does this actually mean though? Number one, you have 7,000 daily steps as your non-negotiable minimum. Number 2 is you then start to slowly add 3 to 5 cardio sessions only when needed. 30 minutes complete max. They don't usually start with 5 cardio sessions. They start to utilize this as a tool, not as a primary means to lose fat. I've met a few people where they have spent 2, 3, even 4 hours in the gym. That is a long time to spend in just doing cardio mode, because what's actually going to happen is something known as metabolic adaptation. As you lose a little bit more weight, your weight goes down, your metabolic demands also go down, which means in order for you to match that, eventually as you do 30 minutes of cardio every single day, you're going to hit a plateau. So in order for you to break the plateau, you have to do 40 minutes, 50 minutes, 60 minutes, and it just keeps going up, all the way up, all the way up. In terms of where they are, they're going to be stuck with countless hours of cardio, and honestly, that is super boring and a huge waste of time. For cardio, they recommend all the same approach. Low intensity, low fatigue, elliptical, full body exercises that really won't affect your strength training process, because strength training, you need that stimulus to get them gains. Why though? Because these methods will create less potential joint stress, which leads to fewer injuries, less demand for the actual cardio sessions, which just means you can actually utilize your central nervous system, aka your brain, to train and use it for more effective things, such as strength training. That's what you need to do. From here, you produce less CNS fatigue. Super important, because whenever you're weight training, resistance training, you need to have a high CNS demand. That means your output needs to be very high to create that intent. That intent is very important so that you can create a stimulus. That stimulus is how you build the muscles. Get that muscle close to failure, hypertrophy occurs. Also, the reason why people often do this is simply so that it allows you to have better recovery in between your workouts. If you're just doing 30 minutes hard sprints and that's your primary method of losing fat, not to say sprinting is not good, like in fact, our clients always do sprints later on, but it's not the purpose of just losing fat and doing cardio. The reason why we want to do that is so that we can stimulate fast twitch muscle fiber, help you become a denser athlete, more resiliency. But imagine you did this. If this is your only way of losing fat and you're doing 30 minutes of sprints, and you're doing your first sprint and you're like, oh man, I'm so tired. The next day you're just so super tired. The next day you won't be able to train very hard, right? And it's because you're just using cardio as a way to lose fat. What if on that sprint day, you just go super hard, 9 out of 10 RPE, max effort, and you pull hammy? If the reason why you want to do this is to burn fat by doing more cardio, can you see how like this might actually affect your training and your whole protocol, entire phase? So here's the critical piece that most people actually miss. As you diet, your body will burn something for fuel, either muscle, either fat, both. Lifting weights doesn't burn a lot of calories, but it does send a powerful signal to your body. Keep this muscle, guys. I want you to burn fat instead. This is why combining diet with strength training outperforms diet with just cardio alone. So essentially what you want to do is implement them all. I'm not saying you only need to do one, but if you implement all 3 of these, you got diet, you got strength training, and you got strategic cardio, that is literally where you can get the sweet spot, where each has a specific role. Diet creates that calorie deficit, just controlled amounts, so you don't actually go through something called metabolic adaptation, where each time you lower, you hit a plateau, you drop your calories, your metabolic rate will start to decrease, but it's just enough. Number 2, you strength train so that you actually preserve muscle mass, or you start to increase your muscle mass, which will increase your metabolic demand and shape your physique. Number 3, where you actually incorporate cardio as a way to enhance the deficit. This allows you to actually improve your cardiovascular health, which will then in turn long-term make you live a little bit longer. Of course, guys, I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. Here's a super simple plan. Super generic, but again, this is just something that I want you to action on right away, because if you don't action this, you just watch all these videos, you don't do anything, nothing is going to happen. So these are really simple steps that I want you to start right away. Number 1, start with 7,000 daily steps. Implement this. This alone, combined with a proper diet, will give you that fat loss benefits right off the bat. This works out to 3 to 4 miles or 60 to 70 minutes of walking total. You don't need to do this all at once. You can really accumulate this throughout the day. If you want to learn how to actually implement this, I made another video talking about how you can implement this into your life, which includes you can just park further away from Costco. You can take more steps. You can park further away when you do other things. Number 2, add 2 or 3 cardio sessions weekly. Start at 20 minutes each. Choose to focus on lower impact options, cycling, elliptical, incline walking, and really just focus on maintaining a very slow, easy intensity, maybe even moderate, where you're just breathing a little bit more than conversational. This should feel a little bit more challenging, but it's super sustainable. This is gonna allow you to recover quickly, recover better, not let it actually affect your strength training. Personally, for our clients, we always do maybe 5 to 10 minutes of cardio before our workout sessions to get the blood flow. Then from there, your central nervous system is fired up. You can actually start training super hard. Then near the end is where you can actually dump out the remainder of your energy expenditure, if you'd like, on cardio. Now, what's gonna happen is when your weight loss actually stalls. That's step number 3. This is what you actually wanna do. You either want to reduce your calories just slightly, or you just add a little bit of cardio, right? Or another option is you just increase your steps by 1,000 calories. Or what you can do is you can increase your steps by 1,000 every single day. Try not to overcomplicate this. This is a super simple approach. This is something that you'll likely stick to. This is short term, meaning if you want to lose weight short term, this is definitely going to help you get there. Now, one of the biggest post-diet mistakes that I often see is, honestly, this is a really big mistake that I often see with so many people, is doing tons of cardio during their diet, then just like completely stopping once they hit their goals. Like, this is when cardio actually becomes super important for 3 big reasons. Number 1, it really regulates your appetite hormones. Regular cardio has been shown to normalize ghrelin and leptin levels. These hormone levels really control hunger and satiety signals. So without this regulation, your appetite can really just go through the roof. And this is where oftentimes people can start to binge. Number 2 is it creates a calorie buffer for maintenance. So what this actually means is if you do regular cardio, maybe just 200 to 400 calories to your daily expenditure, this is just gonna give you a little bit more flexibility with your diet without gaining too much fat. Without this buffer, even a small dietary indulgence can probably lead to some sort of fat overgain, right? You're probably gonna gain fat after a diet, in particular if there's no system around things. What we try to do for our clients is we want to increase our calories, but I like to think about this kind of like a pizza, where half of it is like pineapple and half of it is pepperoni. And so the first phase for our program for a lot of people is you want to try to remove as much pineapples as possible, because pineapples don't belong on pizza. They just don't. That's like the fat. So you want to remove the pineapples as much as possible, but there's going to be a point in time where it just holds on. Like, even if you're in a calorie deficit, your body's gonna be like, nope, them pineapples, they stay in the pizza. So they stay there, right? But people are dropping their calories even more. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna start ripping off the pepperoni. So for us, we want to be very intentional with this. So when we increase our calories to our clients, what's gonna happen is we wanna reduce the amount of pineapples that we put back on the pizza because it doesn't belong there, right? But we start to add more of the pepperoni. Now, the ratio between the pepperoni and pineapples, you have more pepperoni compared to pineapples, which hopefully just means that your body fat percentage is gonna decrease because you increase muscle mass without increasing so much of the pineapple/fat cells. All right, back to step number 3. It maintains something known as metabolic adaptation. Okay, so cardio really helps preserve mitochondrial density and function, and these mechanisms will help you prevent metabolic slowdown, which is basically the thing that we're talking about, removing the pineapples. Research shows that maintaining just 150 minutes of weekly activity will possibly reduce weight gain. That's super important. For long-term success, obviously what you really want to try to do is really build a plan into your body so that you can start to build more fast-twitch muscle fiber, increase your muscle and your metabolism, and this is how you can get off the yo-yo train in particular. So basically, guys, cardio is not just for fat loss. It really is for heart health, brain function, longevity. It's not just for fat loss, guys, but specifically the diet drives the process. So that means specifically the diet in itself will create the necessary calorie deficit. Number 2, strength training will preserve muscle mass. This is going to tell your body what to keep. Number 3 is your daily steps. This form your activity foundation, and it just creates some sort of consistent calorie burn/buffer. Number 4, formal cardio accelerates results. Add this to your deficit when needed. This approach, guys, works for some of the top athletes, the busiest of executives alike, because it's all based off of science, not just hype. So if you like this video, give me a comment below, subscribe to my channel for more fat loss advice. If you want to learn more about our coaching program and how you can get in the best shape of your life and turn your entire body into a fat burning machine on autopilot, just check out my link in my description below. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.